Hey, what up, guys? Coming to you this morning, another What's Next. This one is on Cruiserweight contender Kevin Lerena of South Africa. He's currently my number 9 cruiserweight in the world right now. That's 200 pounds. And, you know, he's ranked highly by a couple governing bodies. He's number 2 in the WBA. He's number 3 in the IBF. He last fought in, what was it? I believe it was February. He took on veteran Firat Arslan and got, TKO'd him. But Arslan, a former champ, I think he's 46, 47 years old. Lerena, not really trying to test himself. He was supposed to come back in June, the last I heard, against another unknown guy. So not quite sure why Lerena, doesn't want to face top-end competition. But he's highly rated, and let's see what could be next for Kevin Lerena heading into, the remainder of the year and into 2021. Let's see what's next. We start with number 1, IBF champion Junior Dorticos. I don't think this fight's happening next. Dorticos is lined up for the World Boxing Super Series finals against Maris Bradis. That's happening for sure next. So I think Lerena's probably going to fight something else in the meantime, but he could get himself in line to face Dorticos, for the title, especially if Dorticos is the Super Series winner. Number 2 is former 2-time champion Maris Bradis. Again, Bradis is fighting Dorticos in the finals of the World Boxing Super Series, so him and Lerena couldn't happen next. But if Lerena were to become the mandatory challenger and Bradis wins the tournament, these two guys could lock up after that. So, that's future stuff. Number 3 is former 2-time WBO champion Krzysztof Glowacki. Glowacki is challenging for the vacant title next against Lawrence Okoli, so no chance he faces Lerena next, but he could after that. It could be an optional defense. Glowacki could be the guy, a veteran that Lerena thinks he could beat, and I think Glowacki, if he beats Okoli, will be in an optional phase of a defense, so maybe that fight happens after that. Number 4 is WBC champion Ilunga Makabu. Lerena's not ranked in the WBC ratings right now, so I'm not seeing this one happening next. I mean, he could be. He could sign on and pay the fees and get in, and maybe Makabu would fight him, but right now it doesn't look likely. Number 5 is contender Noel Gavor. Haven't heard anything on Gavor, when he's coming back or anything, so not seeing this one. Number 6 is former world title challenger, not Maciej, it's Michel Cieslak of Poland. I doubt this one's possible. I don't see it, but maybe contender's bout, maybe an eliminator of some sort. Number 7 is contender Alexei Papin of Russia. I guess some kind of eliminator, maybe in the WBA, would be possible, but right now it doesn't look likely. Haven't heard anything about it. Number 8 is former world title challenger Andrew Tabiti of the United States. I mean, I'm sure Lerena would like to face a guy like Tabiti next, especially Tabiti being with Mayweather, but Tabiti coming off that loss last year in the semifinals, that brutal knockout loss, I don't think he's looking at a top 10 opponent next, so I don't see it. And then Lerena's number 9, and then him possibly facing number 10, undefeated WBA super champion Arsene Goulamirian. I think this fight is possible if Lerena wants it. I think Goulamirian is looking for a top 10 opponent. Lerena has the resume, of a good fighter on the rise and a good possible, opponent. It would be the biggest on Goulamirian's record. Why not? But right now it doesn't look like Lerena wants it, so we got to wait and see. So what do I think Lerena's going to do next? Personally, I don't know. Lerena, ever since he beat Yuri Kalenga back in September of 2017 by a split decision, which was an upset and a nice win for him at the time, ever since then, he hasn't fought top-tier competition. I know he was injured for a little bit, but he came back and all he's fought is nobodies. It's been a string of nobodies, and he's handled them all easily. And I can't understand why he doesn't want to throw himself in the mix and fight somebody good. Again, he's rated number 2 in the WBA, so he could get in line for Beibut Shumanov, the regular champ, or Goulamirian, the super champ. Not sure what they're going to make him do, what the WBA is going to order there. And then right now he's number 3 in the IBF, and there's no number 2 contender. So that means Lerena could face the number 1, which is Ruslan Fafer, a Russian fighter who's beatable, and become mandatory challenger for a belt that he might end up winning a vacant title anyways, because who knows if the winner of the Super Series between Bradis and Dorticos, who knows if they're going to move up in weight instead of make a mandatory defense. The winner might say, fuck this, I'm moving up to heavyweight, or I'm moving on to fight for another title because it's a bigger fight. You know, the winner of that is going to be the IBF champ, but they're probably going to want to do whatever they want, not make a mandatory defense. So Lerena is in a good position to do something if he pushes for it. I think if he fights Fafer, I would probably favor him to win that fight. I don't know who they would have him fight in the WBA, but I think he could beat Beibut Shumanov. I'm not sure about Gulamarian because I don't know much about him, but that's the challenge. Throw yourself out there, try to make a name for yourself. You know, and it's just really up to Lerena, and if he really wants to get into the mix of things, and I think he should. He's got an opportunity. Right now, Cruiserweight's wide open, and, you know, we just got to see if he really wants it or not. So, sad to say if a fighter, questioning if a fighter really wants it or not, but I just haven't seen the passion out of Kevin Lerena. So, we'll see what happens. All right, guys, that's the What's Next on Kevin Lerena. Hope you enjoyed it. True Boxing, been hit with the truth.